So I want to welcome everybody to Cape Conversations. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I've got a couple of, maybe dinner tonight. Great lobsters from Joe's Lobster Mart. Come along, join me for a Cape Conversation. So I am here with the most famous person in all of the Upper Cape. And I swear that is true. Joe Votto from Sandwich, Joe's Lobster Mart. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you, Melinda.
So, Joe, we're sitting here today because my big thing about Cape Conversations was I know nothing about fish. I know where they come from. I've watched that television show, The World's Most Dangerous Profession, which fishing is like #1, I think. I eat a lot of lobster. That's basically what I know. So tell me something that I don't know about. Tell me something about fish that I need to know.
Well, most of the fish that we catch, I say, unload here. And we process them all, and we ship them to different parts of the country. The biggest part goes to Boston right now, because they have a large market for everything that we catch. Unload
Which includes what?
Lobsters, scallops, shellfish, all the above. Pretty much everything that we carry in our store. Everything you carry in the store. Now, what varieties are in there besides the lobsters? And I want to ask you about the rock crabs because I don't get them. But not that I need to get the rock crabs. They've been around for millions of years without my help. But tell me what kinds of regular, I'm going to call it regular fish, fishy fish, not shellfish, do you carry? I know you have like haddock. Let's start with crabs, okay?
Okay.
Crabs are a bycatch of the lobsters.
I see.
Okay, and now they've become more so that the crabs have become a subsidy for the lobsters because of the prices have increased over the past years.
So people buy crabs instead of lobster.
Correct. At a less expensive price.
Right.
And
they're horrible to pick, though.
It's a tough product. We send a lot of them up to Portland, and they have a big processing plant in Portland, Maine, where then the crab meat is returned into the Boston area, and we take some and crab claws like that, and people really like them because they're less expensive than a lobster.
Sure. Okay, so that's all about crabs. And you used to have a very funny T-shirt here that said, "I got crabs at Joe's Lobster Mart." I always thought that was funny. Yeah. You don't carry them anymore, do you?
No.
It kind of went by the wayside.
Yeah, kind of. People still have them.
Oh, no, I actually know several people that still have them. So tell me now, what about the fish? We have whitefish, which would be haddock.
Haddock, cod, and a flounder. And then in the summertime, we have fresh striped bass that are caught locally.
Right.
And that is a nice white fish. Bluefish is a darker fish. That's
oily,
caught,
right?
Yeah, that's caught locally also, and they're seasonal because the quotas on these species are regulated by the federal government in the state of Massachusetts. Like bass season doesn't open until July 12th this year, and we have a state that's got a quarter of a little over 1 million pounds. So when the quota's reached, that's the end of it for here.
Okay, so now my question to you is this. I was talking out back with the guy who runs the boat, which was his boat, which was phenomenal. He had it built. His last name is Colombo. Mark Colombo. And very nice gentleman, and was very allowing us to watch him, bring out the crabs and the lobsters and all of that. What he was telling me about that they're finding now through conservation, or for some reason, they're finding now baby lobsters again, which is a good thing, right?
It's a very good sign. It shows that the regulations the government's put in the last 5 or 6 years, or 7 or 8 years maybe, are finally working, and now it's being more propagated.
Right, which is a good thing, right? Because Now the problem is other countries don't believe in overfishing, right? Isn't that part of the issue?
Well, a lot of them don't have any regulations.
Right.
And the problem is they take everything, no matter size or anything else.
Right.
In the Mediterranean, we have a lot of bluefin tuna that migrate starting this time of year up from the Mediterranean to Cape Cod Bay and beyond.
Really?
And,
I had no idea.
And those fish are not, let's say, put on a quota like we have here in the Mediterranean, where they catch all the small fish and they don't give them a chance to survive.
Oh, yeah. So, so you've been here in Sandwich since
1963.
Wow.
My father built a house in town neck in '63. I graduated high school in '69 and went to work for a gentleman that had a lobster business here in '69.
Is that right? Now, were you associated with this when it was on the docks over here?
Yes. I started this business in '71 and moved it over here in 1985.
Is that right? And what is really funny is when we were on our honeymoon on Cape Cod, as you know, my husband and I have been married for 122 years, and we came down to the old shack that was here on the other side of where the Coast Guard boathouse is here, which is now the information. Yeah, Corps of Engineers, and went in, and we were just so enthralled with seeing all these lobsters. Wouldn't have known what to do with one if we would have bought one at that point in time, as young kids just married. But so anyway, so now you've been here since 1985. 85. Wow. And I know at one time there was a thing about your lease, and people wrote letters, and you got to keep your lease here, and that was a good thing, huh?
Yeah, it was a very good thing. There was some bickering amongst the Corps people about if they wanted us to stay here or not stay here, and we ended up winning the lease, and this is our 7th year after that.
Wow,
so
that's
we're
great.
Still here.
Well, it's such a, I mean, I don't know, everybody says at Joe's Lobster Mart, with all due respect to all the other ones out there, that you guys have the best fish. Do you think that's true?
Well, I believe.
You're smiling. You're smiling.
I believe it's true because I work hard at it. I work 7 days a week, and we work long hours. I mean, like this morning I started at 4, and
do you have to call Boston and do all that stuff?
Well, a lot of it now is computerized, so we talk through emails and phones and cell phones and stuff like that. Now I had a trip of scholars come in, and they went to Boston this morning, and I have another trip coming today. And we'll keep those for the store for the weekend.
Wow.
And we'll have steamers coming from Barnstable and Little Necks coming from Barnstable, and that stuff is all coming today.
Great.
So it's all fresh every day.
Every day is fresh.
Every day.
That is
I do all the
fabulous.
buying and all the selling myself.
That's excellent. Now, do you ever get to wear outfits like this?
No.
And would you ever want to wear an outfit like this?
Not absolutely not.
I know, it's not very flattering. You see those guys out getting the stripers, and you wonder about, what they're wearing under these things. I found out you're not supposed to wear anything under this, but unfortunately, I have all my clothes on, so it's good news.
If you were in the water like that, you'd drown.
Yeah, I probably would drown. These boots weigh about 10,000 pounds, I think. Anyway, so last but not least, okay, so you've been here a long time. What do you see the future of fishing, especially in this area? I know we still have a small fleet here, not a big one, but a small one. I know isn't this called like a safe harbor or something because where it sits?
Yeah, if I was to invest in a seafood business today, I don't think it would be possible to recoup any of your investment in a short period of time or anything else, because it's a lot of hard work, and people today don't want to work as hard as I'm working. I'm 60 years old, and
I thought you were only 40.
Well, I might look 40. But it's a lot of hard work, and people don't want to work 7 days a week and long hours, and it's pretty hard to say, well, you're going to get a great future out of this.
Right.
And it has in the past. It was great in the past. We're working harder now than we ever have.
Sure.
For less money, because our profit margins are a lot less.
Right, and then the fishermen themselves, they have high fuel costs. They have to worry about conservation of the fish, that they don't overfish.
Yes.
They have to report to people, right? The federal government, what they catch.
Everything's reported, and I report everything that I buy, so it's a double.
Yeah, double whammy there. Right, right. Also, we were talking, you have a website.
Yes.
And it is called?
Joe's Lobster Mart. And it's everything. .com. And everything we have in our store is on the website, and it's pictured, and it's a picture of the building with the lobster tanks out back. And we recommend that you look at the website, then call us, and and we can describe what we have for you, or what, if you're going to send it to a customer or a friend or a gift or any of that, and we'll send it out. It goes UPS, it's there the next day.
Wow, how cool is that? That is really
pretty
neat.
remarkable with today's technology.
It sure is. Now, I know that you and I had talked earlier a while ago, and you were even in Europe selling fish, right? Is that correct? You have customers in Europe?
I have a couple of customers in Europe, but I put them on to other people because with the airlines now, it's pretty tough. You have to be a known shipper since 9/11.
Sure, well, you can't blame them, right?
And I have other people in the USDA is involved with it and stuff like that, so I put them off to other customers of mine, and they get the same product that we have, but it's shipped through somebody else.
Well, that's probably just one less thing you have to deal with, right?
Yeah, it's pretty, with the airlines, it's pretty difficult today because the cancellations, and then you got to go pick the product back up and bring it back. And
excellent, excellent. Well, I just want to thank you for letting us come and take pictures of the boat coming in, and that was Palumbo's boat. What's the name of it?
It's called fishing vessel. It's Terry Ann.
The Terry Ann came in, and we saw all of those beautiful lobsters and crabs. How many lobsters did you get off of that one?
He's probably going to weigh out a little over 3,000 pounds of lobsters and close to 5,000 pounds of crabs.
Wow, that's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So, Joe, thank you so much. And everyone's got to come down to Joe's Lobster Mart to get all your lobster, your fish, your shellfish. You've got the best steamers in the world. So again, thank you.
Worked with him for 8 years.
Okay.
And then,
Mark built this boat himself.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I mean, I had it built at Washburn and Dowdy in Maine.
Wow. That's amazing.
27 years ago.
And how's the season been?
It's starting out good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've got some pictures on my iPhones. We got little lobsters like this now. It's encouraging. I haven't seen.
Yeah, there was an issue, right?
Yeah, there has been an issue. I haven't seen it like this for a little while. So it's like the first touch of all the conservation measures that we've done. It's just like, okay,
it works.
It might work.
I wanted to let everyone know I'm sitting here with Scott Bayer, number 2 man at Joe's Lobster Mart. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Excellent. And how long you worked for Joe?
25 years.
25
Started in 1986 when we originally opened this building.
Is that right?
Yep.
Wow.
85, 86.
And were you a single man then? Or?
I was a single man. I actually met my wife working here.
No way.
Yes, I did.
Was she pulling lobsters or?
She was working out front. She was
Yeah?
And she's actually an attorney now.
Oh.
So yeah.
Life is
so
good.
she was working here during her school breaks and college breaks and
Oh,
so
that's
yeah, we've been
wonderful.
together for 96. What was our first date? July 4th.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now you just celebrated an anniversary like
We
I
did. Yeah, yesterday.
same
Yeah,
day.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Took the girls to Fenway, enjoyed the rain.
Yeah. Good thing. So anyway, tell me what is it you do as number 2 man? Do you sell the fish and do all the same things?
Well, actually, what I enjoy about working here is that I'm a lot of hands-on. So we don't per se have a salesman or a buyer. Joe and I do basically everything.
Yeah.
As far as the hiring and everything else goes right down the line. We, both of us have very good relationships with our vendors,
right,
as well as able to sell. So it's that typical family-owned business. It's you have a really tight connection with the people that we do business with.
Right, and I bet you know all the customers that come in here. A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Especially in the winter.
Right. In the off seasons, yes, we know 99% of them. Not during the summer, we're a lot busier and more so we're out back and we have a lot more help in the summer. But during the off season, we're hands-on. I'm out front a lot. And,
Oh, that's great. So I know that when my husband comes down here a lot, obviously, because we don't live far, and I mean, it's just a fabulous fish market. There's no doubt about it. But you know, there'll be a big line of visitors from other places, and one of the girls behind the counter will see him because they know him, and they'll go, "Okay, I'll take your order," because everybody else is going, "I don't know what to get. What do I do?"
Yeah, the shop. You know, it's familiarity. The people that come in, and you know, the locals come in, and you know, they know their way around.
Yeah,
they know their way around. They know the cards here, and the counter's set up the same way every day, and they go right to what they need. And you know, but you get a lot of people that don't see this, where they're from, the Midwestern states. So they come in and they see lobsters for the first time, and they're amazed, and they'll spend, you see some people spend an hour in front of the lobster tank just watching them.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were laughing with Joe because when I was on my honeymoon here in 1969, we came to Joe's Lobster Mart when it was the old shack.
Yes, yeah.
And all we did was come to look at the lobsters. And we were on a honeymoon, we were staying in the hotel, so they pulled out a lobster and said, "What do you want to buy?" And I was like, "Oh no, we want to buy it.
We're
just
looking.
Want to see it. We're just like going to the zoo." So for a person from Ohio, so you're absolutely right. So
yeah, we see a lot of that.
Yeah, and so now, what are some of the challenges? I mean, obviously you're the second guy in command. You're a little bit younger than Joe, a couple of years. What do you see for the future, and how do you see it going for fishing?
Well, I see a lot of changes just in the time period that I've been here, and especially over the last maybe 10. Government has become a lot more involved. A lot more regulations are set in place. Some negative, some positive. Depends on who you talk to. If you talk to a lot of the fishermen, they see a lot of the negative side of it. I believe that it's in ways helped them, especially the scallop industry, where you see a lot stronger prices now in return to the fishermen. But on the other hand, everything's up. Fuel prices up, the cost of living's up, so it kind of washes that margin, But the most challenging part of that is pricing. It changes on a daily basis. You have days at sea now where boats are allowed at allotments. You have scallop boats that are allowed a certain percentage. They're allowed a 400-pound day, but they also have a cap on what they're allowed to catch. Say a 20,000-pound a year limit. They can buy more or lease more. There's a lot to it.
Sure.
As far as the future is, I see it going to be a positive,
Well, more people are eating fish, so that's a good thing,
healthier.
Right? Yeah.
I see it, moving in a different direction, but I believe moving in the right direction. You see I think a lot of the things that our government's doing is based on what the Canadian government has done, where they have shutdown periods, fish periods, and they're more regulated. They have the government, they're subsidized by the government, the fishermen there are, so it's a lot different, where these fishermen here are not, they're independent.
They're on their own.
They're independent.
Right. Well, I was talking to Mr. Palumbo, the Captain Palumbo, from the boat that just came in with all the lobsters and crabs. Wow, it's great. What a great look that is, seeing all those things crawling up the side, seeing the water go down. It's just amazing. But he was saying that they found little lobsters now, and he goes, well, I guess the conservation's working. It was kind of funny. He wanted to say it was working, but he didn't want to say it was working.
There's a fine line.
Yes, I don't want to be too positive.
Well, they had actually one of my fishermen over here has a tail and addy, Kenny Weeks, and he was doing. They take drawing a blank on the word. People from the government, they go out and they do. The vents, the escape vents for the small lobsters. Well, they'll close off the vents to see what's on the bottom. They want an accurate count, and he said it's unbelievable that when those vents observers, they take observers with them, and when they haul those traps, the amount of lobsters in the trap that are underage or juvenile lobsters is amazing. He said so. I think that conservation works as well. Yeah.
Right. So it is a positive sign. What's going on. Well, that's wonderful. I want to thank you for taking a few minutes
anytime.
with me. This is
I
great.
enjoy this.
And I don't know that. You really think I look like I should be going duck hunting?
Duck hunting, yeah. That looks like my outfit for duck hunting.
It's duck hunting. Well, I thought I was looking very trendy.
You do. It looks fine.
Well, somebody came up here and said, though, I thought you were going fishing. I couldn't understand why you were sitting here. They probably thought I was going to be the Gloucester Sea fisherman or something. I'm not sure. So, we're watching the boat out back, the Terry Ann, owned by Captain Palumbo, which he had built up in Maine himself. I heard the whole story. And tell us a little bit about what they're doing when. Okay, so you guys stand on the dock because you all had on the Joe's shirts.
What we have is Mark's, of course, an independent fisherman. He's self-owned, and he, he takes out here. His trip, he left on Sunday.
Yeah.
He left Sunday afternoon. So he is on a 4-day trip. He
Yep.
fishes on lobsters and crabs. They primarily want to catch the lobsters because there's more value in
Right,
the lobsters. But
right.
during certain seasons, they have to work on the crabs just to,
Yeah.
you know, supplement the fuel costs and
Sure.
everything else. What we do is we buy everything on the boat,
Yep.
and then we grade it. You know,
Right.
we keep some for the store. We ship some here. Most of the lobsters this time of year, we keep in house.
Sure,
We
sure.
keep in house because we have such a demand,
Right.
a local demand.
Right.
During the fall, when the catches, you know, they have a bigger catch, a larger catch. We do a lot of shipping to Boston. We don't do any overseas stuff. Everything stays with locally. Joe always says, if I can't drive to them within 5 hours, I'm not selling them.
Good point.
Good point,
Good
right?
point.
So yeah, everything stays local. We're just taking everything and
Well, so now tell me though, we were watching the boat, on the boat, because you guys were up on the dock and you hooked up a bunch of big crates.
Yep.
And they put it over the side, right?
Yep.
So now there were all those guys on the boat. They look like kids to me.
those are men.
They're actually men.
Yeah,
but-
those are they're Mark is the captain, and he has 3 what would you call
Deckhands.
deckhands, right?
Okay.
And those are the 3 men that work.
Now
with
there
him.
was this big, huge. There's a big, huge thing which was filled with water.
Mhm.
Now
That's
where-
the holding tank.
That's the holding
Yep.
tank.
And that's refrigerated. Mark
And-
has a refrigeration, keeps the temperature perfect for the.
And so then the water goes down.
Yep, pumps it down.
And so what did those guys do? They get into.
They'll get in the hole. You can, if you went there now,
Yeah.
you can see them. They're in there filling the crates. They're hauling up the crates. They're putting them on deck, and then we're taking them up from there.
Excellent,
Yep.
excellent. So then
And that's a weekly routine.
that
It's once
is
a week. Yeah.
wow. And how long does it take to actually empty out all that? Because
it
Joe
depends on the
said-
catch. It depends on the catch. It can take anywhere from a couple hours up to 5.
Wow, hard
Yeah,
work.
yeah, a lot of work.
Because it's all done by hand.
All hand, yeah, it's all manual.
There's no way to.
There's
take
no
those-
easy way to do it.
No big
No,
wrench to
that's
get the.
a lot of people don't. That's a part of fishing that they don't see.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. It's a lot of physical labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Totally amazing. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining me for a Cape conversation today. Wasn't it fabulous to talk to Joe Votto and Scott Thayer, his right-hand man, all about Joe's Lobster Mart and all about fish. Come on down to Joe's and take a look at what they got inside. And I believe they even have some recipes on their website at joeslobstermart.com. Thanks again for joining me. And by the way, I need to thank somebody who lent me this beautiful ensemble. It's from Orvis Outfitters in South Cape Village. Thanks a lot, Orvis. Hey, and we'll see you soon for another Cape Conversation.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning.